out of the vehicle while you're driving by, if they're going to walk out from in front of the vehicle where you can't see them, or something to that nature. And a lot of the times the drivers of the 18-wheelers are working on something on their vehicle, and sometimes on the driver's side of the vehicle, which would be next to the lane you're traveling in. So just anytime you see someone on the side of the road, go ahead and pull over to the left lane, get as far away from it as you can, so there's no accidents that ever happen. The next thing I was going to say is, if you're out on the road, one of the things I didn't understand when I was first started traveling was how easy it is to find places to stay on the road. There's multiple websites that will give you free areas to camp. It'll line out, you know, truck stops. It'll line out anything you need to find a place to stay for the night or to camp for multiple nights. The one that I use pretty often, and I'm not sponsored or anything, but the one that I use pretty often is freecampsites.com. The software on it's a little outdated. Definitely could use an update on the website, but it's pretty comprehensive, and it's user generated difference in the landscapes around Texas. You really go from the flatlands where everything's gray or tan, with just small brush here and there, no elevation changes, to now we're kind of starting to get into the hill country where elevation's starting to change. You start seeing a few valleys here and there, a few little washouts every once in a while, and then not far from here we'll start getting into some really hilly areas with a bunch of spruce and larger bushes and thicker vegetation. Things are going to start getting green. It's such a wild difference. And then once we get on into eastern Texas, you'll start seeing pine and lots of grass and a lot more water. There's such a vast difference in landscape from one part of Texas to another. Well, Breckenridge Skatepark. Here we are. Well, made it to Breckenridge, Texas. I think this park's only a couple of years old. It's my first time here. It's kind of cool to see an actual mini ramp. As wild as all the parks are, back home in Montana, you rarely see just a plain mini ramp, so I'm kind of excited for that. Definitely gonna spend some time on this little flat bar. I love a good little round rail. Interesting park though. I think it's by the AARC company. Could be fun. That's a first. I've never seen it crack like that before. Just like on one side. I think I can get the left side anyway. I usually order my boards from a website called Tactics because the local skate shop back in Bozeman usually has pretty terrible selection, and they overprice everybody, which I'm not a big fan of. Anytime the skate shop's trying to gouge the community is not cool with me. Tactics usually has really good prices. They have brick and mortar shops in Oregon, but their website sells snowboards and skateboards and gear. The only downside is I'm pretty lazy, so I don't usually put my own grip tape on, and they always leave bubbles. That's the only gripe I have with that website. But luckily I ordered a couple extras before I left, so got 2 brand new ones in the truck. Well, I've got that one and another brand new one. I'm not surprised that this one broke because we did a little bit of skating around Montana and the skate parks are still pretty wet before I left. So this one was a little waterlogged, and it saw some pretty good use at the end of the season last year. So here we go. Kind of funny when you come to these small towns. I guess they're not used to people riding their parks at all. So, anytime that you're at a skate park, everybody slows down to stare at you. Never landed that before. Nollie board slide, shove it. Jesus. Well, I'm thoroughly sweaty. Had a great time at the park. I did not get to do laundry the other day, so we're heading there now. Hopefully this place will be good. The last one had Wi-Fi like I was hoping, but the coin machine was out, which I don't even know how a laundromat operates without a coin machine. But let's see if this one works. So I'm sure this place is like a whole different story in the summertime, but I just pulled into the Hubbard Creek Reservoir campground that's right on the edge of the Hubbard Creek Reservoir lake, and there's no one here. You can camp up to 7 days free without any kind of permit or anything. And all the campsites are right on the water. This is one wild spot. Like, there's literally nobody here. It is a shame, and it really pisses me off that like states and cities have cool places that you can come and camp and hang out like this, and then people just leave trash all over the place, especially when there's literally a trash can right there. I'm talking 20 feet away. Like, I'm pretty sure my dog is smart enough to like put trash in a trash can, and terrible people can't do that. That frustrates me to no end. Aside from the trash though, look at this. Like, literally parked, backed up to the lake. How cool is that? Well, I'm probably gonna make some dinner before long. Maybe mess around with a little bit of footage. I still haven't gotten in anywhere with Wi-Fi yet. I'm just gonna have to stop at a library or maybe go get some coffee at a coffee shop one of these days and just sit down and finish some videos to actually get them uploaded. Because I've got like 2 full SD cards and half a hard drive full of footage right now that I really need to deal with. So yeah, guys, if you're ever in like north central Texas, come check out the Hubbard. I think think it's the Hubbard Creek Reservoir, just outside of Breckenridge, Texas. It's beautiful. All right, I've never done one of these before, but I don't have a microwave, so I thought it'd be fun to try it tonight, just to have some popcorn. So, here we go. I'm a little scared that this is just gonna explode. It said as soon as you start hearing the sizzling sound to start going in quick forward and backwards circles. I guess this thing's supposed to expand quite a bit before this is over with. Oh, oh, we have some popping. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Well, that was pretty gnarly. Holy crap. That's like... It happened so fast. That's insane. Well, it says to pop it with a fork, so... There's a lot of steam in there. Okay, okay, okay. Well, surprisingly, that was just as simple as it said it was going to be. All right, that's awesome. I'm going to definitely have to go this route again. So we popped a little popcorn, got a movie running tonight. I got the bike off a little earlier. I think the float is stuck in the carburetor. So I think in the morning I'm gonna take that apart and see if I can get that figured out. Last year I bought this same carburetor and there was a little piece of steel that came off in the tunnel going to the float that was holding just a little bit of the float open where the needle goes in. So I'm gonna check that first and hopefully that's it. But other than that, good night guys. It's been fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the skate parks. Next we'll be heading to Possum Kingdom Lake. I'm hoping I can time it right to get there for the Mardi Gras parade. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll do a hike around there and then we'll head down to Mineral Wells, which has another prefab part. I haven't skated it yet. Every time I've been there it's been raining or wet. So we'll give that a shot. You guys have a good one though. Enjoy your evening. Get out there and have fun. Remember to subscribe, like the video, comment on the video. Let me know what you think. And we'll see you next time.